Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And I want to talk about a fun subject, anxiety. Oh, I'm getting a lot of glare from these glasses. I'm going to take these off, sorry. Um, Anxiety, addressing anxiety using spell work. Okay, I'm going to tell you, please find mundane ways to address your anxiety first, whether that's getting a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever you're working with. If it's severe enough, or it's building, or it's become more prevalent than you would like, I would seek help. Okay, let's start there. That's important. Please don't think getting outside help in the mundane world with the muggles is not acceptable. I think it is. Now, if you don't have access to that, find someone, a trusted advisor. A trusted advisor could be someone you trust, that you can trust with your information. These are going to be people who are like a spiritual coach, spiritual counselor, something like that. If there's someone, you go to a life coach, someone you can, like I said, exclusively have discussions with, and it doesn't leave. And they have sage wisdom, learned knowledge. Learned knowledge is not necessarily with something from school, but maybe through life experiences, and they have evidence to back it up. So, because everybody doesn't follow the formal, therapy thing, medical world, and all that, and I totally understand that. And then there's cultural issues as well. I've been in a therapist's office, and I have been in a situation where I feel like I can only go so deep because they're not going to get it, and they're going to take this out of context, and it's just not going to be good. So I don't go that deep. So you don't want that. You're most likely paying for the service, and more importantly, you're taking the time to get help. So you need the help. You have to be fully honest. So spiritual advisor or a trusted advisor if need be. Okay, so let's get into the magical side. So doing all that, you can still boost up that process using magic. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is meditation. And I would suggest you meditate probably several times throughout the day. You want to build up a meditation routine. It should not feel forced, but even if it is and you prefer to, swipe on your phone or, I don't know, freak out about something because, been there, done that. And, because sometimes I get to going and it's like my brain is spinning. And it's like, I got to get this merry-go-round to stop, but I can't seem to get it to stop. If you're already practicing meditation, it can help. Basically, you want to get to a certain vibration, a level of frequency, and you want to maintain that for as long as possible. I say do 5 to 10 minute stretches of meditation, right? You're going to be prepping, so you're going to have these things ready to go, whether it's certain music you put on your headphones and you close your eyes, or whether it's some sort of for some people it's like automatic writing, it's coloring in a coloring book or coloring book pages that you already have printed. You're going to have these things ready to go, and these are routine times that you're working on this. Like I said, it might just be listening to some audio. I would suggest like certain vibrational beats and things like that. Tons of free stuff on YouTube. Get into that. That's going to be your medicine. Several times throughout the day, targeted times. You're not doing this necessarily when you're having an anxiety attack or if you feel it coming on. You can. The goal is to be preventive. So you want to do this often, because what's going to happen is the more you're able to do this and that switch in your mind goes and you kind of go to a different vibration, you're going to eventually be able to do that without all the tools. And then you just switch and you go to that place where there's peace, where there's an opportunity for all those feelings and emotions and all that activity that's happening up here to sort of wash over you like a wave. I'm not saying it's going away forever, you're cured. I'm just saying it buys you some time to at least calm down, save your body the physical onslaught that comes from anxiety. An anxiety attack can be exhausting when you're done, depending on how you exhibit anxiety. Okay? Using some sort of talisman or charm is definitely helpful, or some sort of bag, I guess if you want to call it like a gree bag or something like that. You can use that. Did I say that right? Anyway, you can use something like that. And of course, pre work was done where you've already enchanted and charmed it and so forth, so that it's basically anti anxiety, it's peace, it's success, it's feeling loved, it's rational thought, it's understanding, it's problem solving, it's whatever thing, the things that you want to put into it that represent certain types of crystals that ward block energy that is conflicting to your own. You know, if you want to take maybe, let me think, a feather from a specific type of bird. Be careful when obtaining feathers, guys. Anyway, feathers from a specific type of bird. And again, the thought process behind that would be to, you want to remove yourself from this situation. You just want to feel, free, flying high, above, all that sort of stuff, that type of thinking. So you want to, enchant those types of objects, things like that. So honestly, any object you can enchant for the purpose of, bringing you a sense of calm and peace and so forth. Crystals, duh. Crystals are perfect for that process as well. And then there's potion making. So potion making is, well, there's a lot of things you can make and call it a potion, but basically, if you are already feeling as if things you I don't know how to describe it because I've had uh, my issues with anxiety, and when I was much younger it was worse. So when I would feel things, those feelings coming on, um, it sounds a little contrite to say, oh, just go make yourself a cup of tea, but if you're a practicing witch, that cup of tea becomes a potion. So in those moments, it will take your strength, all of your strength, because you feel it coming on. And then there's the anxiety of the anxiety. But anyway, what strength that is left in that moment before it gets too bad. Reach down, all the way down into your inside. You're figuratively, reaching down. Um, Metaphorically, sorry, reaching in, and you're grabbing. And this is how I do it. So basically, I feel like I can see myself like go within, and I see myself reaching down into the depths, into this region here, and like your pelvic, your lower stomach area, and I know there that my womb, so to speak, right? So I've created life in that area of my body. So I can create in that area of my body. And what I think is I'm creating peace, harmony, balance. And I see it all coming together and shoot out of me. And once it does, I'll see it as a light, maybe a white light, flashing light. And it shoots out into this cup of tea. And I'm holding on. I feel the warmth of the tea, the tea through the mug, and I feel that, and I just hold on, and I can see it shooting out my arms as fast as just like lightning, just shooting through. And when I've exhausted that, I take my hands off. As I will it, so it is done. And I will drink it. When I drink it, I feel as if I'm drinking basically the elixir, the thing, the medicine that's going to right this, that's going to save me, that's going to help me. Because here's the thing, guys, about this whole witchcraft thing. You got to believe your ish. You got to believe that the stuff is working. And in those moments of desperation, I can feel that anxiety building about whatever other situation is going on. I need to hold on to something. I need something to be steady because it gets a little wonky for me. So I need something steady. And that cup of tea is steady. And I believe it. Did I cure myself? No. Because I still off and on have issues with anxiety. What I did do was work on this moment in time, this situation. And I've lessened basically the anxiety. Because while I was doing all that, clearly I'm focused on something else. And I basically broke that tension that's building with the anxiety in me. I broke that because I flipped my focus. It takes work. They're called workings. It takes work, but it can be done. Just to let you know, it can be done. Okay. So outside of potion making, the other piece is doing some shadow work. So that's going to be intense, and you'll probably have more anxiety attacks, um, or just deal with the anxiety. I shouldn't say attacks because everybody doesn't experience it that way, but shadow work is going to get to the root. It's going to get to the root. This is something where you might need help. You might need somebody who is identifying as some sort of spiritual counselor, coach, another practicing witch, root worker, light worker, whatever you want to call them. Um, I am an advocate for a more holistic approach and using somebody maybe not in modern medicine. I'm pro that. The thing you just have to do is do your research, look at testimonials, like really research this person and make sure this is somebody you can trust. I'd get a list, maybe get your top three, and once you have top three of who you think might be great, consult your divination tools, your tarot cards, whatever it is that you're using. And if you're not sure, reach out to your ancestors. And there's ways of doing this. You could like put their names in the same type of ball and ball of paper, something like that. You could toss it around. It's almost like, oh, it's random. I pick a name out of the hat. No, you believe it's been divine that that's the one. Whoever you pick, that's it. That sort of stuff. Just to help you. You can use a pendulum, whatever you want to do on who to pick. But I would probably use a tarot spread to do that, to narrow it down. But the point is, you might need help with that. Otherwise, you could do it by yourself. But be careful, be gentle, set aside time. This is not something that you do when you got 50 million people walking around your house, your kids, your husband, or what have you, your friends coming over, and you sitting here in a notebook just writing out some thought-provoking questions about, what trauma caused this issue, or why do you feel this way? Um, no, this is something to be done seriously. In the same way you would take time to work with a coach, and you would want privacy and quiet. You're gonna need that kind of time to work on yourself and do this by yourself as well. Um, you can look online. There's a bunch of resources about doing shadow work. Um, I think I'm going to work on something myself that I think would be helpful. Years ago, I had, dang, I can't even remember the girl's name now. She's a YouTuber. I found her, and she had a link or something. She talked about to ask certain questions, journal questions, and I thought it was really helpful. And I used that when I did my own version of my shadow work. I took a lot of her information, and it helped me. What I'm thinking about doing is expanding on that, or maybe you taking a little bit of different direction. That might be super helpful. But either way, work on it, guys. Shadow work is key to really getting down to the root. We can figure out triggers. Triggers are great to understand what's triggering something, but ultimately, I want to get to the root cause. I don't just want to know my triggers, because that's only so helpful. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I stand, in my opinion, on addressing anxiety with spell work. Yes, it can be done, but I think it should be done mixed in with maybe a little bit more mundane approaches. Um, and please leave in the comments if you have other tools and things like that you would use as far as addressing anxiety. Using magical ways, if there's something else I didn't mention, because I'm sure a lot of us would like to read what that might be, as well. So let me know. Oh, and one other thing I did just want to say, sometimes, since we're talking magically speaking, you might need a reading. And the type of reading, we can get into that. That's something separate. But you might need a reading, meaning someone elder, very learned witch, or forgive me, a leader of sorts, spiritual leader, who is trained and, this is their thing. You might want, depending on what path you're on, obviously, but you might need a reading because there's what you're seeing as anxiety might be a manifestation of some sort of block spiritual connection, gift, and or you might be an empath. There could be so many other things going on spiritually, and you just thought, oh, I just have anxiety, where it's something actually more supernatural, to be honest with you, that's going on. I would learn as time goes on. I wasn't always picking up on my own energy, my own feelings, my own emotions. I was also picking up on others. Um, that's tricky because if you have no idea, you just feel bad. You just feel a certain way that's not going to help you be productive in life. And it's not even your stuff, it's someone else's. So there's that part too. So you might need a reading. And, to take it a step further, I wonder if sometimes what's manifesting as anxiety because of not lack of knowledge is, like I said, some other type of powers, so to speak. Is it, messages and things like that? Okay. Sometimes when I'm working with spirit, ancestors, or so forth, instead of words, I get emotion. I feel something where I wasn't feeling it. It's just like immediately, boom, I'm feeling this feeling. Um, is it possible that that's happening, but you don't know it? And I honestly feel like there's a lot more that we should just know, a lot of us, and this isn't even about just because I'm um, of African descent. Clearly, I think that there was, I don't think I know that there were things, spirituality lost, knowledge that wasn't passed down, and then the indoctrination of Christianity with my ancestors who were slaves. It's some stuff prevailed, but not enough. I feel like maybe not enough. You know what I mean? So, I would say even if you're not black and or of African descent, because of the modernization and then the church and all this other stuff, a lot of things were just put to bed and we just don't talk about it anymore. This is our thing now. So things that were passed down, or through oral instruction, for a lot of us, we're not going to get that. And I do wonder about what's considered mental illness or um, behavioral issues. Is it, especially in adults? I wonder if it's something beyond just what they can read about in textbooks or in school, what's taught. Is there a spiritual reason or a supernatural reason for some of these behaviors? Possession, all that sort of stuff. Look, I don't think it's anything wrong with wondering, especially in really severe, like schizophrenia and things like that. If you've witnessed the switch that people have with, excuse me, schizophrenia or being bipolar, and you watch that, it's very, well, I mean, it's interesting. I don't say that like I'm watching them for entertainment, but it does make you wonder. And if you're someone who suffers from that, I mean, is it more? Is it something else? Is this what we believe it to be, but it's actually something a lot more? And if we just had the guidance to tap into that, we could be more, whatever more is. But I'm being very philosophical right now, so forgive me. All right, so I'll wrap it up here. So again, I am Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you if you've already subscribed. I really appreciate it. And thanks again for watching. Bye bye.